Okay, sir. Now it's time for our final speaker for today, Sachith, who will be doing his P1 in the humorous section. Now I ask sir to read the objectives.
Our speaker today, Sachith, is attempting project one from Advanced Manual, humorously speaking. First project, warm up your audience. His objectives are prepare a speech that opens with a humorous story, personalize the story, deliver the deliver the story smoothly and effectively. Time 5 to 7 minutes. All the best.
Now I invite Sachith to give a speech.
Hello, dear Cavaliers and respected Velu sir. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Today, I will be narrating two stories that have a deep meaning to me, and I hope you all have an enjoyable time listening to it. Once, there was a family. They had to build a new house. The next day, the father and the son went to the woods to cut some sticks to build a new house. They found a tree by a broad river, some large trees that could give lots and lots of sticks. The father climbed the tree and began cutting sticks. He asked his son to collect the sticks into bundles so that they could be carried to their house. The son was at the foot of the tree, looking around with curiosity. The son was really fascinated by the river that flowed. It was a very beautiful river indeed. Father, father, he shouted, from where does this river come from? The father said, I don't know, my son. After a while, the son shouted again, Father, father, why is the river crooked from here? The father, in anger, said, how on earth do I know? Um, the, fa- the father was in big temper. His son shouted again, where does this river go? His father had lost his temper. In anger, he shouted, where else? To your house? And went away to cut more sticks. After some time, the father came back, but he was so surprised to see that there was not a single bundle of sticks, not even a single stick. He looked at his son and asked him, my son, where are the sticks that I cut? The son said quite happily, I've sent them to our house. How on earth did you send them to our house? Asked the father. Well, said the son, I put all the sticks in the river that is near to this tree. Why on earth would you put sticks into a river? He asked in anger. Well, father, didn't you say that the river goes to a house? So I put all the bundles of sticks into the river, and I'm sure that they have reached our house by now. The father did not say a word. How could he? For what not? Who he said that the river was going to go to their house, but it was too late. The father looked at the river in desperation. All his sticks had flown down the river. That was just a waste of time. Now I will be narrating a different story. Sorry. Also, can you see my screen?
Yes. but nothing is there. Only screen is there. Yeah, now
Uh,
it's visible. Yes.
okay. Now I will be narrating the second story of my speech. Once upon a time, in a village, there lived a village chieftain. He was very he was a very famous person in the village. In those days, everyone knew this village chieftain. He was considered the great wise man of the land. His fame spread across the country. People sought his advice whenever there was a problem. One day, a farmer came to see him to get advice on farming. In those days, everybody in the village lived on cultivating a rice paddy. Cultivating a paddy means lots and lots of work. First, they had to till the field and then they had to make it money by means of a plow tied to a pair of buffaloes. Uh, Second, they had to plow the field again, this time to make its level even by means of a wider plow pulled by a pair of buffaloes. Farmers sing when they plow their fields. May the four guardian gods protect my cattle children. Third, they leveled it again with the help of a plow. This allows the seeds of the paddy field to go down and level. Um, the farmers carried in his left hand a basket of seeds. Paddy unsawed the seeds with his right hand. However, as he walked in the field, he left behind his footprints in the mud, thus making some seeds go down in the mud. Some seeds were lost. Once a farmer, though, isn't there any way to prevent the farmer leaving footprints in the mud? Maybe there is. The farmer visited the village chieftain, uh, the great wise man. He went to the great wise man for a big solution to take his footprints off the mud. The- because if there was footprints in the mud, the seeds would go down and it would be a waste of time and money. The village chieftain said, "Oh no, that's not a big problem at all." The chieftain said. The farmer had a sigh of relief. The chieftain told the farmer to remind him when the field is ready for sowing. He called his pupils and instructed them to cut the bamboo tree and bring it to the field. They did as they were told. Now, said the chieftain, make a stretcher out of it. After they made the stretcher, the chieftain asked one of his pupils, Andere, to get on the stretcher with the basket of seeds in his hand. He then asked the four other pupils to lift the stretcher with Andere and get on the field. They did as they were told. This is the picture of them carrying the bamboos and making a stretcher out of it. Now, Andere and his four pupils with the great wise man had visited the paddy field. The paddy field was big and it was ready for plowing. Now, there were four men in the field carrying on their stretcher. The man who was sowing the paddy in this way, the chieftain prevented the man who sowed the paddy from leaving his footprints on the mud. But now there were 8 footprints of the 4 men who carried the stretcher. But now That is another problem. The moral of this story is that we shouldn't blindly listen to the people that we think have power. And sometimes the people who we think can solve our problems can give us some absurd solutions that will just not work. Just like the story, just like the story where the farmer came to the chieftain to solve his problems and of trying not to leave his footprints in the mud, but the solution that the chieftain gave was just worse, and he was left with 8 muddy footprints in the paddy field than the 2. Thank you.
That was a wonderful speech by Cavalier Sachith.